When first showing up at a site, we're going to show you how to tape down a cable and break out a ring cut. Let's just get started with that. First thing you need to do is to verify your CO side. CO side is coming from the hut, from the place that the light is distributing out of. We're going to go ahead and say it is going to be the lower sequential number. Right here, I've got 586 and 556. So right here we got 30 feet of cable. We're going to start with that. The lower end of 556 is going to be our CO cable. We're going to mark that with blue electrical tape. Blue electrical for CO side. You want to do this where you first realized it and more towards the end of the ring cut. So just kind of come up. This is the same side. We're going to put another piece. I'm going to put another piece up towards here just for a second. Any of the cables that you're going to be breaking out with this is the side that you're going to be splicing onto. This is the one that has a light. Once this side of the fiber is cut, this side is going to be dead. Taping down cable, you want it nice, neat. Always in order, as best as you can, side by side with each other. We're going to start taping her down. This would start from the aerial side or underground, coming right out of the hand hole. Every 2 to 3 feet, depending on how she wants to lay, you want a piece of electrical tape to hold her together. Right about here is where we're going to almost break out to. This cable, we're going to be using the B can. So, it'll be a smaller can. So, we probably don't even need that much. I'll get into a little more detail about later. So, right here we got our CO side. Just going to put a piece of tape right on after. Once you got it taped down outside, this is where you're going to want to put it in your trailer, your van, your whatever you're working out of, tent, table. We're going to clip her right here and we're going to grab footage. Lower end is CO. It's always best to double check. 576 to 566. 566 is going to be our CO end. So right here, we got about 10 feet of cable. That's probably a little much for a B can. That's what you would put in a little larger can. So we can actually, let's mark the CO end again. Put down another piece of tape. We're going to put 6 feet inside this cable, inside this can. This here, kind of wanted just a nice end with it. To mark where you're going to strip down, we're going to take the outer jacket off and get down to the fibers. You want to mark it with a piece of tape of where you want to start ripping down at. So we got 576, 568, 8 feet. We're gonna go right about here. Key thing on this is when you stop ripping down, you want it to be equal. What I mean by that is when you take off this, get down to the fiber, these two line up. If they don't line up, you're going to have one that's going to be popping out, one shorter than the other throughout your entire tape down procedure. This one I didn't do too well of lining up, as you see, but when we get down to breaking out, I just want to go a little extra on one side or stop shorter on the other side. Now to actually do a ring cut, it's a lot easier to work with a straight side, right? So when you start ripping down cable, you're starting off straight. A lot of people, they start in the middle in case of something bad happens. You have plenty enough here to fix it. We're gonna start right off here. Sharp knife, you want to go nice and lightly around the cable with the first ring, right? Connecting all the way around. You want to do that again. A little lower. Taking your knife, going all the way around. This part is key. When you're taking a sharp razor blade knife to any fiber out in the field, you don't want to go too deep. You go too deep, you're cutting fibers, you're fixing a lot of stuff. What I do, nice and light, is just first make a line to end. It all depends on how you actually strip it out, of how big you actually want this section. Do this multiple times. Nice and light. This is not a race. Once you start getting a little deeper, you will feel the metal jacket inside. It's like you're going over rumble strips. Nice and light. Once we get down, you can kind of see my finger stopping and going. You can hear it. Once we got that determined, you want to take your splicer's knife here or flat-headed screwdriver, kind of get in here. Sometimes you got to go a little deeper on the ends. Not too heavy. And you just want to peel the plastic part down and get to the jacket. Nice and easy, peeling it away from the jacket. There is glue that holds a plastic coating around the jacket. Once you get down to the end, it's a perfect time to just peel away, get it off the jacket there. And that part's trash. toss that into a trash can. Second part is to find the overlap, where this jacket ends overlapping the material. Unfortunately, it's at the bottom. In a ring cut, you're going to work inside and out of the circle we got here. But right here is where the jacket, the armored jacket, comes out and it stops. We kind of want to pry that away and get a little opening in there. Sorry, probably off camera here. Nice skin, nice little open layer. We want to peel it away a little more on the ends. So then we can come in, put a little nick there on one end and a little nick there on the other. This is why I wear gloves. Stripping down, this sheet right here is extremely sharp. You will cut yourself. So once you got that open, slightly work on uncovering it, a little at a time, until we uncover the tubes. Here we got the tubes. We got one pull string and another pull string, two pull strings. And again, this is the way other people have different methods of cutting down cable. I cut mine in the middle, leaving two little ends here. And to actually start doing the rip, you'll just want to make a little nick inside the tube, or not inside the tube, inside the metal jacket and the plastic jacket. One on both sides, and same for the other side. Just a little piece just to get you started. There's that and that. So now, take an instrument, tweezers here. Instead of using your bare hands or whatever you might use, I use these to take and start ripping down. Stopping right there at the beginning of my mark. And then you take this side and do the exact same. And stop equal. There we exposed the tube. This part for right now, we're just going to get these out of the way. Always leave room for grounding, which I'll show you here in a moment. Always leave a little extra pull string, just in case of further issues they may have. They might need a little bit more to put more into a bigger case or anything like that. You always want to be pulling like straight down. If you pull in an awkward angle, you could jeopardize bending the tubes somewhere you would rather not. Sometimes in the beginning, your pull string will break. I did not cut down in the proper spot to get a nice pull on the pull string. In that case, you take your one end and you follow it all the way down to your other side. This is where kind of meet up. It's about equal. Now that we got that one side to that mark, this here comes a little trickier part, but it's going to happen. The side that we ripped down, you want to carefully peel apart the jacket and the armor. Kind of open it up. Again, this is about protecting the cable. We're not in a race. A lot of times people forget that, and they end up making mistakes. So what I've done here is open it up a nice little spot to where I can come out and get this working out so I can get to my other pull string. Just keep on working farther down enough to where when you do pull on it, you want to make sure that you keep the fiber straight and you're kind of pulling away with the jacket only. With the jacket only. Once we got down to this, this is probably plenty far enough. You want to work on getting the pull string out. Once you grab that pull string out, we're going to cut off this. We're going to start again. Nick on one side, nick on the other, and then we're able to bend that back. Once we bend that back, and there's no fiber, no pull string in the way, we cut off the tail end. Now we can make a new nick, set that back in there. We get to try this again. And you work it all the way down to the end. Again, you want to be equal to your other pull string. Another key thing is to be organized, cleaned, everything off the table when you start exposing the tubes. We're all done with this tool. We're all pulled out. That can go away. We've done our ring cut. That can go away. We want to expose the tubes all the way down and do what we did to the other side, leaving an inch, inch and a half. Get the trash up out of your way. Next thing we've got, We've got the braided string that's holding all these fibers together is the next step to breaking down this cable. It depends on the cable, for every 2 to 3 feet there's a breakout point in this cable, and it twists. During that breakout point, you'll have a straight shot of fiber, of tubes going straight. That is the best way to actually get rid of these strings. Here is a seam ripper that we use, nice and gently going straight and cutting these strings up out of the way. You want to go along with it and kind of up out of the way, so you're not, when you break these, you're not going towards the tubes. When it breaks, you get a little extra oomph. If your extra oomph goes into these tubes, now we got to open that tube whether you're opening it or not to make sure if there's any damage. What I do, I work it all the way back out to our end of the breakout point. There is a breakout point a little closer to these, which I would have done, but it would have been a little harder for you guys to see. So once we got all of there, do the other side. And this stuff you cut, bring it right down, and you cut right out. This part's trash. To the other end, you find out where the breakout point is. It's way up here. There's probably one closer, but that's too close to the end. So we're going to break it out right here. Again, up and out. Another key thing is you can never have too many of these, and always try to have them staying sharp. They're $1 to $3 a piece. If yours is getting dull and you're really fighting for it, we'll get you another pair. All the way down. Same for the other side. Putting any sharp items against these tubes is frightening at first. All we ask is to take time until we until we get to be comfortable. Once you do this multiple times, it'll become second nature, and you still want to be careful, because if you get too used to doing something so fast, that's where mistakes happen. So we'll end up with this mess here. If it's longer, you're going to have more of a mess. You can either take your seam ripper, or a lot of times you can cut it out with snips. A lot of times you can, if you have sharp enough, you could sit there and just kind of pick away at it, and it'll eventually come off. This stuff we want to throw away. Once we get this in the yard and everything, it is really hard to pick up. So it goes right in the trash right there. We're all done for these. These go away off the table. I'm all done with these. This part, breaking out, you find your breakout points here and here. Here, looks to be right about here. You want to visualize of if I break it out right here, if I break it out all the way down to here, then this side will break all the way out to here. This side will be trapped. We don't want to be trapped all the way up here. So we kind of visualize of when we're putting stuff into the case or PEDs, we want to be loose, no tangled whatsoever, what kind of mess anyways, of up here as further as down as we can. So what I do in this scenario, if I break it out to here and have this side all clogged up to here, if I break it out here, yeah, this side is uncovered, this side is uncovered, but this is all still tangled. We're going to be sitting here trying to fight out a tube to bring out into the trays. We don't want to waste our time on that. So in this case, I'm going to break out this side up until about halfway point. If I break out this side, it's going to bring me out to right about here. So I've got from here to here broken out, and then I can break out to here, from here to here to break out. This doesn't seem much, but it helps. So we're going to start breaking out, and it's a simple finding out which way the tubes are going and slowly rotating in a circle motion, in a round motion. Once I get a little deeper in here, all these tubes are are wrapped around the strength member. So we just kind of keep unrotating until we're at that halfway point. Halfway point, we start working this end out. Again, slowly rotating. All the way up until we meet at our meeting point. As you see, the tubes are already falling apart, right? So instead of cutting stuff out and trying to quickly get to where we're at, we want all the tubes to be like that, all not tangled together. The blue, when I was doing the breakout point, I wasn't able to get around the strength member. So we do that last. Sometimes it gets tangled up into the strings here. And we just want to slowly get around that. Sometimes your tube will get tangled up into these strings. Simply cut them out. And all of these tubes now, I can simply grab up whatever tube I need all the way up to that point. It is best now to cut the strength member up to where it's not tangled up. You're not fighting any tubes, you're not doing anything like that. You simply, the best tool to do that job is your dikes. Make sure no tubes are in the way. Simply cutting out that side, grabbing the other side, simply cutting out that, make sure there's no tubes, cutting out the strength member. This is a key thing to wear gloves. This strength member is made of fiberglass. If you're not careful, you will get a fiberglass sliver. Those are not fun. That's why I wear gloves, protect my hands. Now the next thing is to unveil the strength member. We simply grab an end And we kind of just grab the fiber. We don't want to untwist the fiber because then we'll be twisting this side. Grab the fibers and just slowly work out the strength member until where is needed. Nice and easy. Get the strings in there as well. Work it all the way down. And here we exposed it all the way to the where we opened it originally. We do want to leave a few inches for when we tie it down into the case. So we can cut off the extras. Again, make sure there's no tubes. Cut that out. Again with the other side. Grab your strings with your strength member. Slowly unravel till we get to our breakout point. And again, make sure no tubes. Cut out the strings. This is a 48 count, meaning there's 48 fibers. We're all done with these. We get to put these away. There's 48 fibers in this cable. 12 in each tube in there. This here is a filler tube. The filler tube we cut out. We don't want it lying with the other fibers. It's just a filling tube to help protect the other fibers. So again, just like the strength member, cut out what we can. And then unravel all the way down. We can cut it all the way back there to get it out of the way. Key thing is, this is not a race. Take your time. Filler tube is gone. I'll reposition a little bit. We're going to be putting the blue tube inside the tray here. And it's, since we were able to break it out so nice and easy, it's easy access to get to. If you want to try to even these out, which you typically do, is unravel this side, but it'll put a ravel on the other opposite side. And if we do that, we get more of an even broken out here.